Manchester City want the Champions League title. That is no secret. So if you have a look at their performances in recent years, you'll see they made it to the semi-finals back in 2006. And after that, since Pep Guardiola took over, surprisingly, they've not been able to make it to the semis since. Interesting. Guys, you picked that to change this year, considering, of course, they have done the Premier League and that whole sha-la-la-la-la. I try to make it sound exciting because it is, and that should be their main focus this year. Big dramatic pause.
I don't know whether you can say that has to be the main focus. You know, you have to concentrate on your own domestic league, to be honest, because you know the games in the Champions League, they come around at certain different times in the year, so you can't just forget everything else and say you're going to concentrate on that. Now, I would agree that Manchester City are now in a position where the question is being asked of them, and the question is being asked of Guardiola, you know, when are we going to get this trophy? Because right now, they would sacrifice the Premier League if they knew they were going to get the Champions League. So I don't think they need to forget everything else and concentrate on that. Yes, it's something they want to win.
What they're missing, is there something that Pep's just not quite getting right in the Champions League? Because when you bring in somebody like Pep Guardiola, you expected them to at least have a Champions League title by now, surely.
To win the Champions League, you do need a huge slice of luck at some point or another. And in the last 2 seasons, I think Lady Luck deserted Manchester City when they needed her most. Last season was against... was it Liverpool last season, and then Spurs last season with the Llorente handball for the goal, and then Liverpool the season before, where, in my opinion, they had a goal incorrectly ruled out for offside. So, with just that, 2 correct decisions, what would have been correct decisions in my opinion, would have seen Manchester City get to the semi-final, and maybe we're having a different discussion.
So, do you think they're favourites now, going into this season?
Right now, as you sit, after Barcelona signing of Antoine Griezmann, I put Barcelona just ahead of them. Similarly, but they have similar issues, Barcelona and Manchester City. As good as they are going forward, I still feel defensively they can improve. I don't think City have the centre-backs that they need to see them win the Champions League. Then you could probably say that exactly that about Barcelona as well. And right now, those are the 2 favourites.
One of the strengths, of course, of Manchester City has to do with the fact that they've got such a deep squad in that one. And one of their starlets, Leroy Sane, has definitely caught the eye of a certain Niko Kovac over there at Bayern Munich. He says our people are working very hard to make it happen. This is to sign him. We will do everything to realize this transfer. We all know that Leroy Sane is our dream player. The public knows that. We know that. Pep Guardiola, of course, had to have his say on the situation as well. And he says he has an offer waiting to extend the contract. It's not in our hands. If he wants to leave, he can do. But we will be sad. Hopefully he stays. Oh, Pep showing some emotion. That's cute. So what do you guys think for Sane? What should he do? Should he go or should he stay? Because Bayern is still a very top club.
If he wants to play and he wants to be a starter, then he has to go. Because he's, right now, is not doing that at Manchester City. He's a bit part player. To the fact that towards the end of the season, when Pep made a change, he played Mahrez, who hadn't seen the field for maybe 6 weeks. All of a sudden, he still sat on the bench, and Mahrez is playing. So, if you want to play, then you go to Bayern Munich, because he will walk into the starting 11.
And the amazing thing for me is every time that Pep Guardiola called on Sane towards the back end of last season, I thought he changed the game.
Yes.
I thought he made a huge impact every single time he was called on. Yet he simply couldn't get the start. And if I am Leroy Sane, as we said right now, I'm not sure that I really do feature in Pep's plans as a starter. I'm young enough, and when a club like Bayern Munich shows the kind of interest that they do, I think you heed that call.
Stevie, just back on Manchester City, of course, you didn't get to weigh in as Shaka did. Are they favourites to win the Champions League in your books?
If they sign a centre-back, then they could be, yes. But without company, there's a hole. You know, the reason why they haven't done what they should have done in the Champions League is because you can say, yes, some decisions have gone against them, but it's been all about the defensive play. And if there's one thing we know, Pep Guardiola is not the greatest defensive coach in the world, because in some seasons he looked as though he's not even been interested in it. So, no question, if they went out and signed De Ligt, for example, I think that may have made them favourites.
So
That's clearly not going to happen.
You don't think Otamendi and Stones are the Champions League winning duo that City
Absolutely not.
So, Stevie, who are your favourites? And Shaka, of course, said with the acquisition of Antoine Griezmann, that puts Barcelona just ahead of City for him. So, who puts you right at the top?
My two favourites are Barcelona and Liverpool. I think it's very hard to go against. Listen, when a team's in the last two seasons,
not going to just fully focus on the Premier League this season.
In the last 2 seasons, Liverpool have been in the Champions League final twice. Lost one, as you know, and won one. What have Barcelona done the last 2 years? Ooh. And the reason they haven't done it is because of what Shaka said. Defensively, you can go and sign Griezmann and you can go and sign Neymar as well, but if you don't get defenders, you're going to lose games.